That's kind of like Moses figuring out when he was an Egyptian prince that he was actually a Hebrew. And so I started getting these downloads, and I would get them, and they would come with this consistency, about starting in 2014, every 3, 6, or 9 weeks. And they would just take over for like 3 days. And the compendium of those downloads, and I still get them all the time, and it's no longer every 3, 6, or 9 weeks that it happens for 2 or 3 days. It's literally now every day, and I would say even on a moment-by-moment basis. So this past week, about a week or so ago, maybe 8 days ago, 9 days ago, I started getting downloads of the mathematics of the 5th dimension. Now, if you can imagine, we live in a spiritual life simulation. It's a game that doesn't feel like a game until you realize it's a game. And in order to move into that next operating system, which is literally called the Aquarian OS, in order to move into that operating system, we need to have a basis of a new source code, the mathematics of which needs to come into this realm. So I didn't really know what I was downloading because it was just coming in like hard and heavy, super fast. And it was all the mathematics of a 5th dimensional frame. And now that has turned into, all of my downloads turned into books very rapidly. I wrote Polymath. How many of you read Polymath or have? Okay, a few of you. And for those of you that are afraid of it because it seems mathy, it's actually the spiritual aspect of mathematics. But its truth just resonates as a channeling. And you can imagine there are a lot of math people out there, I call them lovingly math geeks, who would love to try to debunk the mathematics of it. And the entire book is all newly discovered math. And it's been, for the last almost 5 years now, in the top 5. I think it's actually in aggregate dollar sales, the highest selling book in number theory and geometry. So, and it's still 5 stars. Which, with hundreds of reviews, that's basically hard to maintain. But it was a clear channeling that bridges music, mathematics, philosophy, geometry, physics, biology, chemistry, because all of these are different emanations that have different representations of the same one thing. Applied philosophy is mathematics, and applied mathematics is geometry, and applied geometry is physics, and applied physics is chemistry, and applied chemistry is biology, and applied biology is psychology, and applied psychology is sociology, and applied sociology is philosophy, and applied philosophy is back to mathematics. We have created these divisions of all of our learning, when actually it's all just different emanations of the same one source, consciousness. We've then created economies around scarcity and the concept that I need to be worth more for my time, so therefore I'm going to make what I have learned seem more difficult. I'm going to obfuscate it so that I can actually get more funding as a relationship to it. And I'm going to erect a whole university system that is going to be a guardian of that knowledge and my economics, and call it an ethical imperative. We've done the same thing with religion. We've tried to enact these large institutions that have told us what is right and what is wrong. It has taken away our self-sovereignty. We've accumulated facts believing that they're truly facts when merely they're facets of a larger prism of truth. And the only thing I've learned through all of this exercise over the last several years now is that the more I learn, the less I feel I actually know. So I wrote all of these in books, Polymath, then Polymath, and then my latest book, Philosopher. But this new book that I just wrote in less than 7 days is called Codex Universalis Principia Mathematica. And all of it, including the title, was also part of the channel. This is a approximately 200-page document. You can actually download it on my website. So if you just go to my website, robertedwardgrant.com. And by the way, the only reason I have 3 names, Adam, The only reason I have 3 names is because when I started doing all this stuff, after meeting you in Egypt, I looked for robertgrant.com, that was taken. And Edward Grant was not. So that's literally the only reason why I became 3 names. Now everyone forevermore, I never knew the consequence or the weight of that decision. You know, when I made it at that time, okay, well, at least it's my real name, and so I can use it, you know, Robert Edward Grant. And then everyone's like, oh, how pretentious, he has 3 first names. Then someone said to me once, like, well, if he has 3 first names, then he really knows what he's doing. So, basically, I wrote these books, and as I started looking at the arc of this whole story, and where you can find it on my website is in the About Me section. Under, there's an area where it says like publications and such, you will see like theories and writings. It's in the theories and writings section. Codex. And I also have a television show called Codex, so now I know why I called it Codex. I had no idea why I was even calling it Codex at the time. All of these things, again, you can't see it until you can start to look at it in the retrospect. It's as if the movie's already been made and we're watching it play backwards. And we think that's forwards. I'll repeat that. It's as if the movie's already been made and we're watching it play backwards, but we believe that's forwards. You see, because time goes both forward and backward at the same time. If you don't believe me, just look at the sky. Look at the stars. We go forward in procession at the same time and by the same exact degree that we're going backwards in precession. And procession means to go forward and precession means to go backwards. So the precession of equinox literally means the backward cycle of the zodiac. And it's by the exact same degree, except that 1 degree in the cycle of procession is 1 day. And 1 degree in the cycle of precession is 66 years. But we're literally going backward and forward at the same time. What we believe to be, and this is what this latest math, or 5th dimensional math, is showing, and it's showing that the 5th dimension is actually another layer of polarity. It's a harmonic